pause for a second. Be honest. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in the same version of yourself? The same thoughts, the same habits, the same reactions, as if your mind is frozen. And maybe you've thought this before. After 30, it's harder to change. But what if that's not true? What if the problem isn't your age, but how your brain is being used? There's something happening inside your mind right now, something silent, something that defines everything: how you think, how you react, and who you become. Your brain is always changing, always, even if you don't notice. There's a name for this: neuroplasticity. And here's the part almost no one understands. You don't stop changing after 30. You just stop changing by accident. When you repeat the same days, the same choices, the same stimuli. Because the brain learns through repetition. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, it just learns. Now think about your routine. You wake up, you do almost the same things, you react the same way, you think in similar patterns, you get distracted by the same things. And without realizing it, you are training your brain to keep being the same person every single day. But here's the part that changes everything. If repetition creates who you are, then change begins with interruption. You have to break the pattern, even if it's small, even if it feels insignificant, because every small break is a signal to your brain. Something new is happening, and your brain pays attention to that. Now let me show you what really stops change. It's not lack of ability, it's not lack of intelligence, it's comfort. Your brain loves what is predictable because predictability saves energy and feels safe. That's why it pulls you back to the same behavior, to the same path, even when that path leads nowhere. And this is where most people quit. They confuse resistance with incapacity, but resistance is a signal that you're stepping out of the automatic, and that is exactly what needs to happen. Now pay attention to this. Every time you do something different, even if it's small, you create a new connection in your brain, a new path. At first, that path is weak, unstable, almost invisible, but it exists. And if you repeat it, it grows, it strengthens, it becomes easier, until one day it becomes automatic, just like the old one was. And this is where the real secret is. You don't need to change your entire life. You need to change small actions every single day. Because the brain doesn't respond to intensity, it responds to consistency. Now think about this. If you keep doing exactly what you've always done, 1 year from now, nothing changes. But if you change 1% every day, your brain has no choice. It adapts, it evolves, it transforms. And there's something even more powerful after 30. Awareness. You've made mistakes. You've tried. You've lived. And that gives you something you didn't have before. Clarity. You can see patterns, identify what's holding you back, and that accelerates change, if you use it. Because change is not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Change is about decision and repetition. It's about doing it even when you don't feel like it, even if it feels strange, even when no one is watching. Because at the beginning, change is invisible. It happens inside your brain, silently. But over time, it shows up in the way you think, in the way you react, in the way you live. And suddenly, you're not the same person anymore. Now let me ask you the most important question of this video. If your brain is being shaped every single day, are you shaping it consciously or just letting it repeat the past? Because in the end, it's not your age that defines who you become, it's the pattern you choose to repeat or decide to break.